the idea of video marketing is not as scary. I wanted to quickly, before we dive in, just mention like why video marketing, and I feel like it's more of like a term used in the marketing space rather than something we throw around. This can cover social media marketing. This can cover anything you're doing online for any platform, because it's probably not a surprise, but video tends to do much better in terms of performance on almost every single platform. And not only that, it allows us, like our audience now and the market now is craving that video aspect, because we love lives, we love videos because they show more than a photo can. And now more than ever, and especially with the digital age that we're in, people crave that genuine, authentic like part of you. And whether you are a business owner, and I think this has shifted to a lot of business owners, it used to be the thing that you could just have, promotional posts kind of all the time. And now people get invested in the companies that they are behind and they buy from, especially for small businesses. So the more that you can show the behind the scenes, how you make the product, how you go above and beyond for your products, and your clients and your customers, and then also to be able to show the people behind the scenes that there are real people and it's not just a company front facing, that goes a long way. And then for anyone who wants to be an influencer, if you want a YouTube channel, you might not even think that, diving into having video is something that could generate more sales, more leads. But trust me, it builds so much trust amongst any potential clients, customers. They get to know you, they get to see like a genuine side, and it allows you to go into more than you could photo by photo. So without further ado, let's jump in. Another reason why I wanted to cover video marketing is because I think so many people are intimidated by the idea of having to film video. And I actually wasn't going to teach this. Day one wasn't my initial idea for a topic, camera confidence, because I didn't realize what a fear that this was. And it has been for me, but now that I've been doing it a little bit longer, it doesn't feel as scary. But especially if you haven't considered doing more videos in your online marketing and on social media platforms, I get it. It can feel daunting, and you're not just committing to taking a photo and pushing post. You're now committing to filming something, and maybe you have to look good, or maybe you know nothing about the technology of cameras and lighting, and maybe you have no idea what to say. You're like, okay, well, then I have it all set up, and then now what? So the whole goal for this is, I am a huge like proponent of like just simplifying things, because in our world, I think, especially in digital, things can be overcomplicated, because usually you can do a lot more, which is amazing. But my goal for the end of this week is to make filming a video feel so easy and simple, and debunk that you need high equipment, you need a big budget, you need this whole that you can't do it just from your house with just you and just an iPhone. That is what my goal is by the end of this, that you feel it's so obtainable that it's silly for you not to have more videos in your social media presence. Okay, I'm done my little spiel. Let's dive in. It's day one. It's Monday. Housekeeping. So let's go over a few things here for a second. I'm about to talk about fun prizes. This is the first time I'm doing prizes and giveaways, which I'm so excited for. And so there's a lot of ways to win. And then the second thing I wanted to talk about is this, just a small glimpse this whole week of a larger course, which I'll talk about maybe a little bit later. So my goal here is I want to help as many people as possible. So if you can get the most value from this stuff as well, then that's what I want. I want you to be able to take what you've learned from this week and be able to replicate it and not be held up. But if you want to take things to a next level, you have more ideas, you have larger strategies, then that's what this course is for and what it was built for. So I'll talk more about that maybe later in the week, but just wanted to let you know. And then we're going to dive into confidence on camera, and then end with a little homework assignment. Don't be scared. These homework assignments are very, very small, but this allows you a chance to, if you've been like me, I'm like, I'll consume all the things, I'll learn everything I have to do, and then I'll do it. No, this is kind of forcing you to do a little bit each day so that you're actually progressing, and you don't have to wait till Friday, and you don't have to wait till next week when you want to rewatch everything. You don't have to wait till February or in the summer. You can get going now, because there's no time, and I'm going to make it so simple that there's no reason not to. Okay, let's talk about referral prizes. So this one I'm really excited for because I beefed it up. The whole goal of these prizes is that I just want to help as many people as possible. So, and I want to reward anyone if you can bring people to our group, if you have accountability buddies, if you know someone else in your space. I've personally been invited to groups or something, or events and challenges that I needed because a friend was like, Marissa, you've been talking about this, or you've wanted to release a course for so long. You have talked about this and have been excited about this and then haven't done it. So sometimes having a friend kind of make you aware that there's this resource online can be really helpful. So all you have to do by the end of the week, this is when I'll choose the winners. If you refer the most people to this Facebook group, you win all three of these prizes. A 90-minute social media session with me, which basically means excuse me, which basically means 90 minutes of whatever you want to talk about. Now, we can cover all of the social media platforms you have questions about. We can cover one or two and really dive in. We can talk ads. We can talk posting. We can talk engagement strategies specific to you. We can talk video ideas specific to you. We can talk non-video ideas. Like I do that too with clients. We can talk photo series. We can talk Pinterest, blogs, whatever you need. If you win this, you'll get a form that'll kind of ask you what you're struggling with, maybe what you want to focus on, just so I have an idea and I can prepare, because I want these 90 minutes to be very, very valuable. And then we'll go live together on a Zoom, not anywhere else publicly. And then we can talk about that candidly and go through every problem, every issue, every hurdle you have. And by the end, you will have a customized sheet that we're going to kind of build as we go through this, of your next steps, of best practices. You can ask every question under the sun. Then also, this is optional. Obviously, if you don't choose to get the video marketing course, that's also fine. But if you choose to, I'm offering a huge discount of $400 off the entire course. So yeah, only you would get that access. And then you, as a winner of this, if you refer the most people, then you get your choice of also one of my other 3 courses for free. So we have the Level Up, which is YouTube specific. We have Funnel Your Content, which teaches you how to take one video, long form, short form, and turn it into 34 unique pieces of content. Or we have a 2-day workshop, Batch Like a Boss, which teaches you how to make a month's worth of content in just 2 days. So you can choose from any of those and it'll be completely free. They're different prices. So you could choose the highest price one, or you can just choose whichever one's relevant for you. And you get all 3 of that just for referring the most people. All you need to do is send the Facebook link to anyone. I'll make sure this is in the description after, but you send it to anyone, or you can invite your friends. You can push the invite button and invite any friends. And then when they join, it asks in the questions, where did you hear about this group? If you were referred by someone, who? And so all they need to do is say that they were referred by Kelly, they were referred by Tom, they were referred by Danny. Doesn't matter, as long as they say your name. And even if they don't, if you know that someone's going to refer you, or you say, hey, Marissa, I invited 5 people, 3 people have said that they're going to join, so look out for Amy, Kim, and Josh, or whatever. And then that way I can be on the lookout too and make sure that you get all the points for your referrals. All right, we're about to jump in, I promise. Participation prizes. So say you're like, oh, I don't really have like that many friends who are into digital marketing. Cool. That's fine. Then you can also win prizes just by participating in this group all this week, by turning in your homework, by commenting on this live, asking questions, by commenting on any of the posts. I'm basically going to tally. You get a point for every comment, or if you share on social media. It can be on Facebook, it can be on Twitter, it can be on blogs, it could be anywhere. You can give a shout out. Just make sure you tag me. My handle is at Marissa Began on every platform except Facebook is at Marissa Began Biz. B-I-Z. So just make sure you tag me so that I can find it, and I will tally all of these points at the end. And if you have the most participation points, meaning that you commented the most, you tagged me on social media the most, whatever it is, then you will win a 60-minute social media session. The follow-up will be the same. You get a form in the beginning so that I have an idea. I can prep for our strategy session, 60 minutes real time for us to talk about anything under the sun. And then you leave with your next steps, best practices, everything that you maybe had questions with going in. And the last way you can win is through team prizes. So after this live, I'm going to divide all of these challengers into teams, either 2 or 4, and then that way you're going to be grouped into teams. And how you win this one is just whoever has the team that submits the most homework, period. That's it. At the end, we'll do a group coaching call for whoever is able to join, and if you can't join, then you get the recording. So it doesn't matter. As long as you're in a group that wins, you could win just by default, a group coaching call. So hopefully that'll be helpful. All you have to do is submit the homework, and tonight is a little video clip. So I'll make sure that in the description here, you have the link to upload your videos. And then what's nice about the homework is if you submit it every single week, I'm going to give you actual feedback. Excuse me. So tonight, if you submit your homework by tomorrow, I will make sure that I have real-time feedback offering specific suggestions to you. So like, hey, you crushed this. You looked really confident. Here are my tips to make it even better. So I will do that for every single homework assignment that you turn in this week. Okay, I'm done. Here we go. Let's dive in. So confidence on camera. This first one might seem a little obvious, but I think the reason that people get scared the most is we don't have a plan. And the second that you have a plan, and I'll talk about that, it suddenly takes some of the pressure off. You're not as worried. You know what you're supposed to talk about. And it also depends. There's different pressures for if you're going live and if you're just recording your own video. If you're just recording a 15-second Instagram story, there's a lot less pressure because it's just you. And if you mess up, you delete it. It's totally fine. Whereas if you're going live, there's a little added pressure. So you can always work up to that. But what I like to do, and I still do this to this day, is for every video or even just a live especially, I'll take a sticky note, but you can write it on your arm. You can get a notebook. You can use teleprompter apps. There's one, I think it's just called Teleprompter. And you can type out what you want to say. And then, learn to have a little fun with it and not just read it word for word, one by one. My puppy's over here. But then that way you can have a little fun, see what you're writing, or even put bullets on the teleprompter app and then kind of go from there. But for an example, I was trying to see if I had sticky notes nearby, but I don't. I will just have my sticky note and I'll list like 2 to 3, maybe 4 bullets, especially if I'm doing a longer form piece. If it's just like a 15-second ad or something quick, then maybe I'll just look at what I want to say and then just try it a couple times. But especially for something longer, excuse me, I'll put 3 bullets, and then that way I'll even prop it up next to wherever my camera is, my phone, and then I'm able to just look at it quickly. And remember, you can always edit and post, unless it is a live, of course, which also you can save those and chop those up and edit them later too. So there's really no excuse if you're worried, well, I'm gonna have time in between my bullets, that's fine. But this, what it does more than anything is gives you a safety net. So as you're talking, you know what you need to talk about. You know this stuff, otherwise you wouldn't be making videos on it. The bullets are almost like the safety net that you go, if I forget, if I have a brain fart and I suddenly can't remember what I was gonna say, then you can look over and you can continue and you're fine. This also, even if you don't use the sticky note, by writing something out, you don't have to do word for word exactly what you're going to say, but by writing out, okay, I want to do an ad. I need to mention this product. So maybe you put the product name. I need to mention it's available in a week. So maybe it's a promotion ad. So then what's that other thing you need to hit? And then you want to list a pain point because the ad is to cater to the people who are really struggling. So then maybe you just write that out because you're processing what the video is going to be about. And then you look at it and you go, okay, I got it. And now you do your 15-second ad. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I have this incredible product because if you've struggled with this, I've solved this for you because I've been there. Make sure you click the link below so you can be the first one to buy this product when it becomes available. Boom, done. So just writing it out really does help either your thought process so that you lock it in, because what I don't want to do here is have you waste your time. And if you plan, then you're not going to be filming 9 takes to get it right. You're going to be filming 1, 2, maybe 3 in the beginning. But I promise you, there becomes a point where, I still have my mess ups for sure, but on average now, I feel a lot more confident and I'm able to just kind of wing it or know that it's okay to have some word vomit. And people actually like that, like not your word vomit, but they like that you're human and that you mess up and that it's not perfect and it doesn't have to be polished. Okay, so don't forget to plan it to some degree. Next is a dress rehearsal. Like I said, excuse me, practice really does make perfect. So the whole point of just getting started on this now is you're going to become more and more and more confident and comfortable on camera. And the best way to do that is through Instagram stories because they're short snippets. If you are not comfortable with Instagram yet or you don't have an Instagram, totally fine. You can also start on TikTok, which is another small platform, or you can just focus on creating small videos, 60 seconds or less, 30 seconds or less for any platform you are on. But the whole point is that the more you do it, even if they don't go public, even if you don't use them right away and you're just practicing to get them down, then you're going to get better and you're going to find out that it's a lot easier and it's going to be smoother each time. And give yourself some grace. Know that mistakes are okay. Know that it doesn't matter how confident you are or you think you are, you're going to make mistakes and that's fine. Give yourself some grace. Be like, oh, crap. And I have had those where I just couldn't get it right. My brain was fried and I tried over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, I've done 12 takes now and I can't get it. And sometimes I pause, I walk away, I refresh, and then I come back and I'll nail it. Or sometimes you're just like, you know what? It's not happening. I'll try again tomorrow. And that's fine too. But I will say, keep the bloopers. Like, that's funny. Like, people, some of the best posts truly are those moments where you mess up or where it just didn't work out perfectly. Because again, we crave as a society that genuine feel, and we want to know that people are human too. And then mistakes to avoid here is people get really hard on themselves. I can fall into this category. I set some high standards, and sometimes if I can't get it right, if I'm 12 takes in, it's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. But the next one could be it. And by you practicing those 12 times, it's going to be even better the next time you record, and the next time you record, and the next time you record. So don't be so hard on yourself. And more times than not, I promise you, it is not the end of the world. And even if you go live, most of these, if you mess up, you're probably not going live right away. If you are, kudos. But if you're not, then what do you got to worry about? It's fine. Then you just don't have to use that take. And if you go live again, you can delete it after that. You can save the video, chop it up, use the pieces you want. And then that full live where you messed up is not there anymore. And it's fine. And even if you do and you mess up, I promise you, you care way more than they do. And believe it or not, I don't know if this is surprising to those of you who know me, but I've gotten more comments when I actually show the mess ups or I fumble around, or I've had people outright say, I love that you don't like edit everything and that you just mess up and you're just goofy and real, because it makes me feel like you're telling me like it is. And people do resonate with that. So just keep that in mind. And if you mess up, then one of the mistakes that people do is just delete it all. They spend 2 minutes filming this whole video and then they go, oh, I messed up right at the end. It's delete. It's trash. It can't be used. No, it can be used. It can be used. And this is what I teach in Funnel Your Content, is how to take one video and pull multiple pieces. Because if you just filmed a 3-minute video, what if you crushed the beginning? And you could use 15 seconds of it to tease whatever video you're about to show. Or maybe you do mess up at the end, but it's freaking funny and you can chop that up and you can post that on a story, or you can put that somewhere else, or you can make a collection of bloopers. Just try to use, if you took the time to prepare for this, to actually speak it out, then try to use what you have. Don't let it go to waste. Another example is, if you film, we'll talk about this in a second, and say there's something in your background and you're like, oh my gosh, I did not realize that my kids' toys were all over the background and I couldn't see it in the lens at first. Or maybe you have a package, a sensitive package, and it has like your address on it and you don't want that shared. Then if there's a way, you can crop your video, and there's apps and there's tools and resources to do that, so that you could still use that video potentially, unless it's like right behind your face, then maybe that one has to get tossed. But if you don't have to toss them and you can still use pieces of them, then do, because you can chop up videos and say you mess up, then it's a blooper reel. It's a collection of all the mess ups you've had, and that's hilarious. And maybe you have a long form one talking about all those tips, but then you can make a short TikTok or Instagram reel where you chop up just the tip number 1, plan out your live. Tip number 2, make a dress rehearsal. Tip number 3, avoid these common mistakes, and it's just those quick clips from that longer videos, even if you messed up at parts around what you're chopping up, if that makes sense. Basically, just find ways to repurpose your content so that it doesn't go to waste, even if you messed up. And then if you don't plan, then you start to ramble. The reason, like, one of the mistakes that people do is that they just go, oh, I'm fine. I know what I'm going to talk about. And for some people it does work out, but sometimes we're dealing in a world where our attention span is so small. So it's not the fact that like, oh, you can talk for a minute and get the point across. It's that if those first 10 to 15 seconds aren't going to capture that person, it doesn't matter if you give all this value at the end of the video because they're not there. They already left. So the whole point being, you want the video length isn't as important, and when you plan, then you're less likely to ramble and get to the point at the end. You kind of want to hit people strong with any video, talk about something they want so that they're hooked and they'll stay. And then we are people with short attention spans, so keep them somewhat small and digestible. The only exception is YouTube. YouTube is a platform where people are going and watching long form videos. People are going to YouTube and treating it like they would TV time and watching episodes or videos that are 20 minutes, 30 minutes long. So that's the only exception here that I would say you can have that be more long-winded, because the people who are going there are ready to invest their time. When you're going to TikTok or an Instagram or a Facebook, we do have more of a limited attention span. We kind of going there to consume multiple content pieces by multiple people. And so we're expecting shorter things unless it's super captivating. And then by rambling, you're spending more time on editing. By not planning, you're spending more time editing, and that is just wasted time as well. So planning really is the key here, because then you can go ahead and just trim the beginning and the end, if that, or maybe edit once, splice it up, one thing's edited out, save, boom, you're ready to go. Whereas one of the other things that people get really overwhelmed with is the editing process, which don't worry, we have a day. Is it tomorrow or the day after? One of those days, we're going to talk editing, and I'm going to show you how simple it can be. So I don't want you to spend much time on editing, period, because we're in a society of constantly consuming content. So I want you to be able to turn these around quickly and batch this content and make a lot of it. So I don't want you spending a lot of time on editing. And by planning, you can cut out almost 80% of those mistakes and all of those issues that would have cost more editing on your end. Or if you're hiring it out, you're spending and wasting more money having them edit stuff that could have been cut out on your own just by planning. All right, so let's dive into the look of it, right? Because it's one thing, okay, Marissa, I can plan it, but then if I'm like backlit and there's like no good lighting and I just don't look great, then what's the point of that? Totally hear you. So lighting might be the single most important part of any video, and of any photo, to be honest. Audio, yes, is important. You don't want to sound awful, but you can use your phone audio. You can use your camera audio. That's not an issue here for consistent content. Obviously, if you were trying to do like a music video or something high end, or a big promo video, then that's when you can maybe invest in someone who has the equipment, or a videographer or something like that potentially. But we're talking about more day-to-day content, and I do have information on the higher end content for the people who want to film that stuff. But I'm talking like day-to-day, you getting on your Instagram stories or on TikTok or on Pinterest, Twitter, wherever it may be, then having audio isn't a game changer, because what you have on your phone and on your computer is workable, and that's what we're used to. So that's fine. That's not gonna limit your engagement here. But the lighting will. So there's nothing worse than if there's a window behind you. If I had a whole window back here, this would be an awful place to record. And this isn't even the best place for me to record, because I have a window here to the side and I have more windows to this side, which is kind of okay. It helps a little bit, but what's in front of me is just a wall. So I don't have any natural light coming right on me, which is the best case scenario. So ideally, if you're like, where do I film? I don't have a beautiful, gorgeous house like these influencers or these YouTubers, and I'm not, whatever, it's fine. You're okay. Find a window. All you need is like a corner or like a piece of your wall. That's what's nice about video and photos is you can, it sounds bad, like not trick anyone, but like you don't need a whole house that's like perfect and aesthetically pleasing for all of your content. You just need a corner. You just need one thing. So see if you can figure out in your house or in somebody else's house, it doesn't matter, if there is one spot where a window is facing you and behind you, even if it's just a sliver of a wall, that it could look fine. Ideally, and again, I'm probably not showing you the most ideal scenario, but ideally you do want something in the background because it does help elevate the video. Like if I had no lamps and I had no bookshelf, and that's my dog's kennel. If it was just the wall, then that's kind of boring and doesn't capture you as much. But even something as simple as if there's like two photos, picture frames behind you, if some people put twinkle lights, again, you just need a sliver of a wall. Like that's it. So you could hang one photo and it kind of just be more captivating, or maybe one little shelf, two little shelves. This isn't the worst just because like there are things going on, there are lights to kind of draw your eye in. But again, you would want something that's not too distracting. You don't want a screen. You don't want any videos or anything playing while people are trying to concentrate on you. And you don't want, what else is another thing you don't want? Really anything that's moving or distracting. So if there was like a neon light that's flashing, if it's just like steady, then that's fine. But just try and think if there's one or two things you can add behind you. A candle is fine too, even if it flickers, but it's small enough that it's not too distracting from you. The whole point is you, and if you really have nothing and it's just a corner, then that'll do, and just get close to you and you be the center, and that's fine. But the whole point of this whole conversation is just find a window. And ideally, if you can film during the day, then natural light, even over having professional lighting, sometimes can look even better. So let's say, Marissa, you are crazy. I have a 9 to 5. I'm starting my own business. I have kids. Like the only time I can record, and the weekends are catered to like chaperoning and bringing the kids around and all their sports and all their extracurricular activities. I don't got any time except for like 5 in the morning and 9 p.m. when they go to bed and they're still sleeping. Okay, I hear you. Or maybe you work during the day and you literally just only have nights to film. That is also fine. You do not have to spend a huge budget. Ring lights are basically like small lights that just are a ring. Self-explanatory, but you can get them for as little as $5. I currently have one, and this one is actually kind of nice. This one is from Five Below. It's $5, and I'll show you here for a second. You can actually switch between more of like a blue hue, which is what I have now. This is kind of like more of a warm, but also bright, and then this is like a super warm one. So if I did have a lot of natural light, then this one kind of helps more of like a soft glow, but it's not, because today's a little dreary. This one doesn't brighten it enough to give you like some brightness. So anyways, that one switches between 3 options, and then you also can lower it. So if I just wanted a little bit like that, or I can make it more intense as well. So this one's $5. And it's just from Five Below, and it actually came with an attachment. Now you can't see me, where you can put your phone on it. So, and you can also do this. Say you don't want to use that attachment or that's confusing. You can get just a tiny little phone stand and then put your phone on that as well, so that you can just speak to your phone. That's all you need, period. But say you want something bigger than that. There are also, I have a larger ring light, and there's box lights, which you can still get relatively cheap depending on like what your budget is. You can get them for $20, or you can get them for like $60, and that's like more of like a middle high tier. Like you probably wouldn't need anything more than that unless you were like at that point hiring someone who really knows their stuff and you want to do like a big production thing. So there's definitely a wide variety of things if you need that. And then also I even have this stuck in my drawer. This is a small little ring light for your phone, so it just clips on your phone. And then I think the batteries are low, so it's not going to be that bright. Yeah, see how it's it's about to die, so there's not much brightness here, but it does get pretty bright, and then you can affect having a little ring light on your face. So this one's nice for the ladies if like you wanted to stick it in your purse and you're out with your friends, and even if you just want to take a photo and you want it to look better and not be so dark. So the whole point of this is lighting is the biggest part of this. So just find a window, get yourself just a $5, $20 ring light, and you're good to go. And that's going to elevate your video more than anything. Next, backdrop. So we just talked about a lot of that a little bit, like nothing too distracting. It just adds to the video. You want to avoid any sensitive package material, anything that has your home address on it, any license plates. I know people who have like vlogged and have walked like from their car or gotten something from their back of their car and their license plates showing, which you just want to be mindful of that, you know, for privacy reasons. And then they'll walk up to their front door. And so if you can see your house number and then maybe what your house looks like. Sometimes people don't feel comfortable with that. So just start thinking about those things as well, just from a safety issue. More times than not, it's not going to be that big of a deal, but it's just better safe than sorry, right? Because with anything that's on the internet, you will just want to be mindful. And then avoid messes. Sometimes this is a mistake people make, and I made it myself, is you look into your camera and the screen's so small, so you think you're good, you just see yourself, and then you realize when you watch the playback that you just have like a mess completely behind you. It's just not flattering, or it's not nice. So just kind of like check everything, look in the lens, see what people are going to see, because even though it's small for you, when people watch it on YouTube or like when they open up their screen full, like you can see everything. So just be mindful of that stuff too. You just need a corner of your house. And also you can get creative with backdrops like this. I've seen people who've gotten just like those colored printer paper, or I don't know if it's printer paper, like when you're kids, like the craft paper, and you could get those booklets and it's like every color, the page is a different color of the rainbow, and then you can color on them and stuff like that, but they're just plain. So people will buy those for $2, and then they will just tape them on their wall, and you could do all one color, like say you wanted all green, or say you wanted a rainbow wall, you could do that too, and then stand in front of it. Again, you just need something to cover what the screen is showing. That's it. You don't have to do your whole wall. You can take it right off after you're done. So you can get creative like that. If you're like, I don't have anything aesthetic, it's totally fine. And then there are purchase backdrops. Like people can get, and I've had these before, you can get like, oh gosh, I don't even know what they're called. Like stands that hold a roller up at the top, and then you kind of use the roller, and it's like paper. And so I used to have a blue one. I mean, I still have it, but I just don't use it a lot because honestly, it becomes like a big setup. And then at that point, I'd rather just film it quickly on my phone. So, you can have those in any color. If you have like a brand color and you want something consistent, then that's great too. And then once it gets like all, gross or something, or bent and stuff, you can just rip off that bottom and then just pull more down, and you're sitting in front of it, you're standing in front of it, you're totally fine. So those are options, and those aren't too expensive. I think it's like $20 for like a big roll. And then I don't know how much the stands go for, but maybe another 20. And now one of the last tips is getting camera ready. This might seem like obvious, I don't know, but finding stuff that is on brand. Like if your colors, this is a perfect example and I didn't even plan it. My colors as a brand is this like blue on the screen, and then some greens, some kind of like emerald greens, dark greens, soft green, and then blues, light blue, and this darker blue here. And I have on a green necklace and a green headband. That was totally unplanned, but to wear stuff that maybe is on brand is helpful subconsciously, like if you had like the brand color underneath for a backdrop or something. This isn't like a necessity by any means, but it does help as a company if you're constantly trying to get people aware of your brand colors. And then also flattering colors. So maybe your brand colors are more just like fun and vibrant, and those really aren't flattering colors on you. That's fine too. So then figure out what's going to make you look good on camera. I have blue eyes. So one thing I know is that whenever I wear something blue, it really does make them look more blue. And sometimes that's enticing. So like that might look cool. So think about that. Like what looks good on you? Do you have like some more pink hues, and maybe like pink or soft colors would look really pretty on you? Do you have blonde hair? Just start thinking about what are flattering colors on you. What are outfits that when you wear, people are like, oh, you look awesome. Because that's only going to make you feel good. If you put on your favorite look and you just like feel amazing, then that's going to bring a ton of confidence to the camera too. It really does help, I promise. And then because the confidence comes from when you feel good about yourself and you feel prepared. So plan and then look awesome. And then I even like go as far as like sometimes hyping myself up. If you're like anxious or nervous, like, or if I'm going to shoot a lot of content at once, sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm putting on my jam, my songs. I'm just going to like feel all the feels, and I got this. Like, I know my stuff. People want to be friends with me. People want to like work with me. Like, talk yourself up, give you those positive affirmations, because you should never feel bad about hyping yourself up. You should be your biggest cheerleader, period, because you know how awesome you are. And if you don't, all the people around you know how awesome you are. So if you need to do a little hype and just go, I am a queen, I am a king, I am the best, I got this. Even if you feel super silly, if it works and it's for yourself, then no harm done. And if you're like skeptical, like just try it and then tell me, or your video's not better, or photos. And then come with enthusiasm. Even if you have no energy, there have been times when I have personally been drained and I'm like, the last thing I want to do is film a video right now. But then you turn on the charm and you go, okay, no, because I want to show up for these people. I want to make my dream a reality and I need to be here. I need to be creating videos for them. The second you start that video and you bring energy, hey guys, I'm so happy to share that we are launching a new line, da 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 da. People feed off your energy. So if you're filming videos and you're like, hey, I'm Tom and I'm really excited because there's a video that I have made announcing our product. That's not like, what? We don't want to buy that. We're like, okay, cool. What's it about? Like, you don't even seem excited. So why should we get excited? But if you're like, guys, I have created the best course for any question that you possibly needed around social media and any question that you've had, all these templates, and you're not doing it alone. You're not overwhelmed. You're not stressed, whatever it is, pitch yourself, because you wouldn't be creating something, whether it's your own services or a company or a product, if you didn't believe in it. Or you shouldn't create something if you don't believe in it. So you should never feel like you have to sell anything. You should just be coming with enthusiasm because you have something created or built, or you have advice and tips for people that you know will better their lives. So why wouldn't you be excited to share that? Okay, now test it out. This is kind of the last tip here and step here is, now what you don't want to do is like look at the screen, go, okay, I feel good, I hyped myself up, I'm ready to go, and then press record and then just start speaking, and the next thing you know, you didn't check the frame, you have a mess in the background that you couldn't see at first, you have like a weird hair the whole time. Let me tell you, that is so stinking annoying, but that's a real thing. So you want to do like a test video or like a clip. It can be 5 seconds, it can be less. Usually I will push record once everything's set up, my backdrop looks okay, I'm dressed up, and then I just go, hey, I'm Marissa, test, 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 da 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 da, boom. Sometimes I like to move like my arms around because like what if I had a weird shirt or something and like it just looked weird. I like to like change angles or whatever, but 5 seconds. And then I go back and I watch that and I look at that clip and I go, okay, there's a mess over there in that corner. I'm just going to clean those things off the table, the side table. So that's nice and clean. And then, oh my gosh, I have like fuzz on my lip, or I have like stuff in my teeth. Like, do you know how annoying that would be to have filmed all your content or filmed a video even and then realize that? So do a test one, visually look at everything, listen to the audio. One thing I have done was I filmed multiple videos and I tested the visual. I listened to my own advice for the visual, but the audio that I had clipped onto my microphone, which you don't need, was on the top of the camera. It just was not plugged in. So again, that wasn't the end of the day. And honestly, I was just like, oh my gosh, go figure. And I can still use those pieces, and I think I still have. So because visually they're good and it's still a nice camera. So like even the audio without that audio attachment, that microphone, it's going to sound fine for social media. So knowing that, don't get hard on yourself going, oh, silly me, it's fine, I can still use it. Visually it looks great, so that's not a problem. I can chop it up, and then boom, now I have a story time to be like, so you know how I keep talking about video marketing and then I keep failing myself because no one's perfect? Then you can do that too. So you're not alone. And then don't forget to connect the audio. If you are using any type of microphone, again, you do not have to. You can use a simple lav mic, a lavalier mic. You can look at those on Amazon. Those are, $20 and under, and those just clip onto any piece of clothing. And then you can even clip it to your phone and it saves in like a voice notes, or you can send it to a recorder or anything like that. You also can just use the audio on your phone, your camera, your computer, or if you do have a camera. I have a DSLR, a Canon T6i that I use. You do not, and by any means, need to get a camera for this kind of stuff. If you want it long term, if you want to film a lot more content, and especially for really killer photos, then that's a great idea. But don't use that as an excuse to not start filming your videos, okay? And then audio, I just have like a Rode mic attachment that goes on top of, honestly, the camera that looks very similar to this one in this picture. So you can use that, but you don't need to. And then if you do mess it up, don't delete it, right? We already talked about that. And then speak it out loud. If you, I've done this personally. If you really are fumbling and I couldn't get it 12 takes in, sometimes I go, okay, I'm going to turn the camera off for a second so it's not recording, because there's that added pressure when it's on, when it's recording, that it has to be perfect. And sometimes you get in your own head and you just stumble. So I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to look at my sticky note or whatever I've written it out. Okay, it's just a quick ad. I got it. Hype yourself up. I need to mention the product. And maybe like you're saying the product name wrong. So you're like, okay, funnel your content course, funnel your content, like sometimes just saying it out loud before you speak it for the video helps too. So if I knew I needed to say the course name, I needed to say it's available now, and I needed to say the pain point. Maybe the pain point's messing me up and I'm trying to wing it really. And so then I would write out the pain point maybe, and then that way I say it once or twice, push record, boom, now you're good to go. So just speaking it out loud, sometimes taking a break, trying again can help. And the last tip that I'll give, I talk about this a lot because I find it really, really helpful with editing. So I'll mention it again when we get to our editing lesson, but if you are filming even on your phone or your computer, if I mess up, like I'll start recording, and then sometimes if I'm doing multiple ads, I'll do, hey, it's Marissa, da 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 da, here's my course, da 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 da. And if I mess up, I clap. And then what that does is basically in the audio, there's going to be a spike because you're clapping. And so it's causing a spike in the audio, whereas you're talking, it might be like da 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 da. Clap, it's going to be much higher. So this helps you that if you mess up, or say I do a take wonderfully and I'm like, nailed it, then I clap before I do the next one. That way I could have the video running for maybe 2 minutes or something and knock out all these ads. And now when I go to edit, say I were to bring it up in iMovie or something, I upload one file, which is so nice for me. And then I see all the spikes in the audio, dividing all those clips. So now I don't have to watch it one by one and go, where is it? I can chop right into those claps. And then that way I'm dealing with smaller pieces and I'm just trimming on both sides, trimming, export it all, done. So that's going to be really helpful when editing, but I wanted to mention it as you're filming because it's going to help and it's something you have to do when you film. Okay, now it's your turn. So we're at 11:52, so I want to be mindful of everyone's time here. This is your homework assignment for today. I'm going to put above in this description how you can submit your homework, because I will look tonight and tomorrow for your homework submission, and I will message you back and say, hey, awesome video, loved it, here are a few more tips. Or I might even be like, this is so perfect, I couldn't even have done it this good myself. 10 out of 10, no suggestions. Keep doing the exact same thing. But this way, hopefully you get other feedback, and you just get, even I send my stuff to other people too, because it's just nice having other people who aren't in it, who aren't you, offer some advice. It's also helpful for, your business like the back of your hand, what you stand for. And sometimes in our mind, it makes sense and it's coming across correctly. But then I might say something that someone else goes, I have no idea what you mean by this. Or I didn't realize that was even a course. I just thought you were talking about this. So sometimes it's helpful to just have someone else listen to it and be like, this isn't making sense. Or can you add clarity? Or maybe it'd be helpful to do this. So your homework assignment is to film your own video. Don't freak out on me here. Nothing crazy. We're going to keep it simple. I want you to film just one Instagram story. If you're not on Instagram, that's fine. Fine. Just use your phone or camera. Your phone, camera, computer, doesn't matter. Film 30 seconds or less for your choice of platform. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be like, this is for Twitter, because you're not going to post it unless you want to. I just want you to film at least 15 seconds. I just thought a story would be really easy because you can go into your Instagram story, you can put on a filter that you feel good in, and you can just talk to the camera, and then it's going to be done. So, and then you push the little download and it's going to save to your camera roll. And that's how you can send it to me. Or if you wanted, you could also just on Instagram story be like, hey, I'm filming this clip because I'm doing a 5-day challenge with Marissa, and this was our homework assignment to just talk to the camera and film something. So here it is. Then you can do that. And then it also counts as a participation point. Excuse me, because you are tagging me. So that is also an option. I just want you to film something. So it does not matter if it's 50 seconds, 30 seconds, you can do more, but I want this to be simple, easy. I don't want you to be like, oh, I don't have time tonight because I got to make dinner, and then I got to do this homework, and then I got to do this, and then nope. 15 seconds. We all have 15 seconds. Just find, and this is okay if you don't have any ring lights or anything yet and you can't film it because tonight it's going to be bad, then if you can, film it tomorrow morning, like on your way to work, or if you're about to walk into work or before you go on a call, just find a window, speak for 15 seconds and send it. Don't tell me you don't have time for that. But even if you're like, I really didn't, then you can film something with just like turning the light on in the room. Okay. And then, I'll just know that and that'll be fine. But you're not getting out of this because even if you do this for yourself, I'm trying to entice you to actually complete these homework assignments, and I'll give feedback and you get points because I really do want you to grow from this. And honestly, by stepping out of our comfort zone, we're going to be able to go further than we can. So don't be afraid to send this. It's just for me. Don't be afraid to film this. It's just for you. Like, just take that next step. There's nothing to be afraid of. So all it has to be, doesn't matter if it's in Instagram and you film in the story, it doesn't matter if it's just your phone and you go to the camera button and you film for 30 seconds or less or more, I don't care. But I want your face to be in it. You can't film a little product session. I don't care if like you're like, well, I'm creating visuals or I'm a painter or this or that. This time you are going to have to be talking about it. And I don't care what it is, but your face needs to be on the camera. Okay, that's the only thing. That's the twist here. And it can be on anything. It can be a quick training. People talk about, hey, here's my number one tip. Make sure your lighting looks good before you film anything. Boom. That's less than 50 seconds and you're good to go. It can be a life or business update. So if you just wanted to go to Instagram and you're like, hey, I'm doing this 5-day challenge and it's day 1, so here we go. But I'm excited. I want to challenge myself. I want to do more things, more videos to come. Stay tuned. Boom, done. That's your homework. So it can be a life update. It can be you talking about your kids and then sending me the video. That's fine. You can be like, guys, we're working from home and my son, he loves to color right next to me while I'm on my work calls because he likes to do his work while I do my work. That could be great too. Just do a life update. And again, you don't have to post it anywhere. This could purely be to send to me, but this is to entice that if you wanted to post it too. Why not? It could be a quick story time, 15 to 30 second story time about anything in your life, about anything in your past. It can be promotional, or you could just tell a joke. Google a joke, deliver it on social media, or just deliver it to the camera and send to me. The goal is for you to start to feel comfortable with it, to plan it, even if it's just thinking about it. These are 15 seconds. I understand you don't need sticky notes for this. Maybe you don't need to write it out, but you do need to think about it. And so if you're going to do a joke, then maybe you're going to type one in, or you're going to think about what's the best joke that I have. Oh, okay. So just take a second, plan it out, test it out, and then posting is optional. You definitely do not have to post it. I would like it if you would submit it to me so I can give you some feedback or even some praise. And then from there, just complete it. So that is your assignment for today. I will put up in the description above where you can submit it to this Google folder so that I can see it. And the more homework you submit, the higher chance you can win prizes. If you comment on any of these posts, these lives, if you ask questions, any of that, if you tag me on social media at Marissa Began, all of those are going to be points that are going to be added up throughout the week. So you can start early, get ahead of all the other people, and start locking in those prizes by the end of the week. So that is it for today. Let me check the comment section. All right, let's see. Jackie, camera confidence. Yes, it's a real thing. Sierra, you're the best. No, you are the best. Okay, Kelly, how do I prevent the dreaded ring light reflection in my glasses? Okay, that is a real thing. 2 things. I know people who have just moved to contacts, which have helped, obviously taking the ring light out. Second, if you're able to film during the day and not have to use a ring light, then if you're just filming in front of a window, then that will there's no ring light then, so there'll be no ring light in your glasses. And then the third thing that's helpful is I think that if you can add the ring light a little bit higher above eye level and then avoid looking up as much as possible. So I worked with a client and she wore glasses all the time and we had to film at night. So one thing we did was just bring up the ring light so that it wasn't at eye level. And then that way we just tried to avoid her from like constantly looking up because then you could see the ring lights in her glasses. But if she was looking straight ahead or down to like think about the next thing or something, then we were avoiding avoiding that ring light being shown in her glasses. So try bringing up your ring light, if you can adjust it a little bit higher than eye level, or just try filming during the day without a ring light and just in front of a window and see how that looks. Because honestly, the window can do wonders with just the lighting, and sometimes you don't need the ring light as well. So try one of those two options and see if that helps with you. And yes, you have dreary days in Pittsburgh too. Oh gosh. How and where? Okay, Kelly, I have a tripod for the ring light, so I should be able to elevate it. Awesome. Okay, let me know how that goes, because that should hopefully fix it a little bit and see if that helps. And then once you've got it locked down on the perfect size, then you shouldn't have any issues and kind of will avoid that. It'll kind of be basically the ring light would be where like your forehead would be. So as long as you're not looking up, and then that would be weird if you looked way up anyways. So hopefully that avoids that. How and where, this is from Paige, how and where do you want us to send these homework assignments? Great question. As soon as I end this live, I'm going to put in the description above, I'll also put it in a comment, a link to a Google Drive folder. So you can deliver your homework two ways. You can just upload it to that folder and I will check it, or you can also post it if you wanted to post it online and then just tag me so that I know how to find it. Or you can just DM me if you didn't want to post it, but you wanted to send it that way, that's fine. I'll check all those places, but either post it and tag me so I know if you were planning to make it public, or just upload it to the Google Drive that I will drop a link to right after this. Okay. I think those are our questions. I want to be mindful of our time. You will have access to this presentation as well. You will have access to the replay. I'm sending an email recap every day, but only the people who've registered for this event are in that email blast. So if for whatever reason you were in this private Facebook group, or I invited you or whatever, and you didn't have to register for this event to be in the group, then just make sure there's a post below this that says, please register. Just make sure you go there and register. It's just putting your name in and your email. That way I have your email and I can send you these daily emails. I think most people who are in on this group have already registered or registered for a previous one. If you registered for Batch Like a Boss, you're in as well. That's totally fine. I'm sending this to every single email list subscriber, so you will not miss that. But I just want to make sure that you're not missing the replays, the presentations, and anything like that. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in. Jackie, Sierra, Kelly, Paige, Lauren, Mia, you guys are the best. I appreciate it so much. And I'm really, really excited for the rest of this week. I've got so many good tips to share. I'm like freaking out. Okay. Happy Monday. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.